What's up, guys? I have this 2011 370Z Nismo. Baseline, 271 wheel horsepower, 237 wheel torque. I thought it was my car, but my car has the black wrap in the back of that little wing. It's crazy. Whenever I see that color, obviously it reminds me of mine because it's like rare but not rare. Today I brought the GTR. So anyways, this one is, say it's all stock. All it has is a catback exhaust. It's a OEM style muffler, but aftermarket. And that's it. So that's the baseline 271. Obviously we're gonna go ahead and tune it and see what it makes. So it's on 91 stock injectors. Thank you for coming from Culver City. So this car gained 14 and a half wheel horsepower. So you can see the baseline was 271. After the tune was 286. The car again is stock. All it has is a catback exhaust, which looks almost like the OEM. And then there's the torque right there. So definitely gonna feel big difference just for having an exhaust.
Oh, hell no. Thank you for that.
No, hell no. I never gave him the
for working
no.
for you.
Fuck
I'm
no.
getting you mad
You never
every
worked over
single
here.
day.
You never worked here.
You never
You never existed.
I never existed by God.
Section 8?
Yeah, Section 8. Oh, hell no. I'm scared of this guy.
Not this one. What's up, fool? You need a down?
Yeah, let's get down, fool. Do the trick. Guys, I have this 2014 370Z. Currently tuned by somebody in the Lancaster, Palmdale area. This guy's had very bad, horrible customer service from that person that tuned this car right here. That's the owner right there installing the intake. So normally you're not allowed to be in here when you're installing, for example, your intakes, but it's raining pretty hard outside, so I let him install it here. So I went ahead and did a baseline. But I'm already making the new file. So the car on the baseline, nothing has changed on it. It's just intakes, exhaust, full exhaust. I believe it's a dual exit exhaust, like an OEM style muffler, but it's aftermarket, so it's on stock injectors 91. The intakes, they are the still in Gen 3. So I wanted to do a baseline on that one before I did anything. And he's actually installing the UPT 3-inch intakes. So looking at the data log from the other tune, there was definitely room for improvement. And I told him, you know what, I'm pretty sure your motor's probably still good, so don't worry about that. And I told him if he just retunes with the same parts without purchasing the intakes, then he's definitely still gonna make more power with me. But he might as well take advantage that he's retuning, you know, his money. So you might as well just add some intakes that are going to make even more power than the still in Gen 3s. The still in Gen 3s are my favorite standard size intakes. I believe they're very good, to be honest. But when you go 3-inch, of course they're going to make more than the still-ins when tuned properly. There are other brands out there that are standard size, and they're just not really good. And you would think like, oh, how, it's just a pipe. Like, well, there's a lot of little details into it that makes a difference. Better than stock, yes, definitely, but there's a lot of details in these intake how they're made and things like that. So again, the Stillen definitely very, very good. I still recommend those if you want to run standard size intake piping size. But the UPT obviously makes more, so he might as well make use of his money, his retune money with me, since now he's switching over to me, and we'll see what it makes after this. So forget to say there's a clip where I show a misfire in cylinder 3, random misfire, some other 2 codes I believe. Those most likely are tune related, and we're gonna see if they come back after I tune it. I believe that's just with the tune right there from the previous tuner. The dotted line is the tune from the other person. The solid line on top is mine. Gaining 18 raw horsepower. Of course, one of the things is we did change the intakes on there, so it's not exact a fair comparison, but 18 real horsepower gains. I'm sorry about that, somebody came in. Of course, not a exact fair comparison, because they did change the intakes. 18 wheel horsepower over the Stillens is obviously a little too much, so half came from my tune and half came from the UPT 3-inch intakes, and there is the torque right there. You see the big difference. A lot more top end. 18 wheel horsepower. This guy's definitely gonna feel a big difference. Gonna have to wait till tomorrow or something, because today it's raining. But yeah, that's what a good tune and a good part as well. Like I said, again, the Stillen Gen 3 definitely recommend as a standard size intake. That does not exactly require a tune, but a tune is recommended for them. 3-inch intake always requires a tune. Have a key reprogram for this 2004 G35 is getting a ECU replacement, so obviously the ECU is used. What's up, guys? Have this 2012 370Z manual. This guy hit me up in the DMs that the car keeps going into limp mode, so he took it to the dealership and they replaced the MAF, but I guess that made things worse. Honestly, I'm not too sure how that would happen. Just replacing the MAF would make things worse unless they did something else to it. So he said he bought this car already tuned. He doesn't know who tuned it. They told him that he just needed a retune, so he hit me up. So when he explained everything to me, I'm just like, no, that's most likely not the case. Is it always a possibility? Yeah, but the way he explained everything is extremely small chance that it has to do with whoever tuned the car, based off of what he explained and the parts that the car has. So I told him, you know, well, tune does not fix electrical or mechanical issues, so the best thing to do is to bring it here to get it diagnosed, and you know, we can go from there. So he just dropped off the car, and he explained everything to George, so that obviously diagnostics is done by the other side of the shop, which is George. And he already kind of figured out in his head what might be wrong, which is most likely the cam sprocket on this car, on why it keeps going into limp mode. And sure enough, I scanned it, I plugged in the computer, and the car is tuned. It was tuned in 2021. I don't recognize the serial number. Maybe they don't tune a lot of these, or whatever. Maybe they're from another state or something. Maybe it was an email tune. But again, this guy bought the car already tuned. And when I scanned for codes, sure enough, it was basically letting us know that, hey, something's wrong with one of the cam sprockets. So George already knew. So he's just gonna confirm it now and probably run some tests on that sprocket, and probably contact the customer, let them know how much it's going to cost, because they're going to have to take out the timing cover for that, obviously, to replace the sprocket. You might as well replace both. At that point, you know, it really depends on you as an owner in general, not specifically this guy, but if you have the money for it, you have the budget for it, the best thing to do would be, you might as well get another water pump. You're already in there. Water pump and 2 new sprockets, cam sprockets. So that would be the best thing. If not, we've literally had people just change one, and then maybe 6 months later the other cam sprocket will go out, and you got to pay again for the work, and that's a pretty big job. So the best thing to do is just do things that are already inside the timing cover, because the timing cover is going to come off, so, or behind the timing cover. And then once that's done, we'll see maybe this guy wants to get a retune on his car or not. So maybe that's probably why the previous owner might have sold the car. They couldn't figure out the problem, but they've already figured it out over here.
Burrito de asada con cabeza?
Sí.
Alright guys, if you want to know if you still have gas in your tank, you do, underneath that line. So that's of course assuming that your level works on the fuel pump, the leveler, and this has been flashing for roughly 45 minutes for me. It's also been flashing over here, but as you can see, the car still runs. So this is not something how you want to run your car all the time. It's not good for the fuel pump, but I'm doing this as a test to see if mine still works for marking how much fuel I have. So mine is working good so far. So when I fill up, it's gonna take about 19 or 20 gallons. I think the G is 20 gallons, the G37. So the way I'm testing it is actually I have some extra fuel here in a container, just a couple gallons, and I'm just driving around the shop, so I'll have enough fuel to make it to the gas station. There's plenty of gas stations around here nearby, so I'm just driving around until it sputters or shuts off. So it hasn't done it yet. I know that we're getting to the point. I'm not sure. I've been driving around for about an hour roughly, and I just keep seeing the needle going down. So I might just take a little break for right now and then get back in the car and drive a little more, or I might just go straight to the gas station and fill up, and then just keep the container I got with a couple gallons. I'll just leave it in the shop. But yeah, you always have a little bit of gas underneath that, just to let you guys know. Guys, so ran out of gas, and I was actually monitoring it. I was logging it while I was cruising, and it was just instant. For the most part, it was just instant. It was hesitating literally for roughly 5 to 10 seconds at the most, and then it just it shut off. So I threw it in neutral, and luckily I was in a small residential area by the shop, and there were cars coming all of a sudden, right, for no reason. Now they probably live there or something, just wasting my time anyways. So I kind of had to like roll through a stop sign, and then the streets are kind of packed. They're throwing some parties, so it's after Halloween. It's already November. I guess they're post-Halloween parties or something. And well, as soon as I turn, I'm basically parked in the red, because the whole street is completely packed. There was nowhere to park. I'd have to park next to another car or something and put some gas. So I have the gas right there, the blue container. Probably can't really see it. I'm gonna add some fuel, and I'm probably less than a mile away from the next gas station. This is what it should look like when it actually works. So it was, the needle was there for a while. Alright, so the car shut off, obviously, like I said, but let's see if it starts. Oh, it started, but it shut off. Try it again. All right, never mind. Let me put gas. Strawberry acai. So today is Monday. Obviously I'm not here, quote unquote, and I got this car from George, so one of his customers, 370Z Nismo, black, very, very clean. I think something's wrong with the VVL, and George narrowed it down to the ECU. So I don't really know anything about this car other than what he just told me literally 5 minutes ago. So he got another ECU. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in and program all the modules and the keys, and go ahead and program the VIN on here, and go ahead and start it and make sure it's not in limp mode, and that should be it for this one. Oh yeah. Oh. Now we gotta relearn this right here. Should be fairly easy. So yeah, I'm confused already. So hit next, I guess. Start. And it's done. So let's hit end. Now it's stopped blinking. Let's see if I put in gear. There we go. There we go. So I think I do have another video on this. See, sports mode. There we go. I mean, that's disgusting, but I don't know if he uses it or not, but I'm gonna turn it off. But I do have another video somewhere where I explained that I use this. Oh no, you know what? I was on live. I was on Instagram live the first time I was trying this on one of the cars. So it's pretty rare when it loses the programming for how do I say, the sports transmission. This is a Nismo, so same thing. So the sports / Nismo 6-speed transmission, they do have a small tiny ECU that knows, you know, what gear it's in, and it tells it to rev match and things like that. So like I said, very rarely they lose the programming, or unless someone try to mess with it or something. Anyways, so if it doesn't work, you have to recalibrate it. So obviously I have the Console 3 Plus, which is the computer, or you could do it manually. There is a process to do it manually, but it's kind of long to do it. But you can do it if you don't have any computers. You just have to find out the information on how to do it, which is, it's available online. Guys, yellow 2005 G35 automatic sedan. Again, another car. I don't know what's wrong with it other than what George told me. If I could help him out with reprogramming the key and the VIN. And well, the car starts now. So that should be it for this one. Just another key and VIN reprogram. You guys know Ray no longer works here, but he's still here. Ooh. In memory of Ray. He got fired. Alright guys, have this 370Z right here, tuned by someone else. I have actually no idea who tuned it. It does have a limp mode problem that was fixed here by the shop, which was a mechanical problem. And after that, it does have a startup issue, which is really weird because it's on stock injectors, and it does not rev past 6,500 roughly. So maybe that might have something to do with the tune. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab another ECU so we don't delete his tune, because we actually do happen to have one the same year as this car. If we didn't, then I'd have to call him and be like, hey, is it okay if I do this, because your tune's gonna be deleted. But the thing is, he bought the car tuned, so I'm not sure if he knows who tuned it. I don't know if he got it from auction or from someone personal or from private. So in this case, I do have an extra ECU, exact year and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a tune on there and see if it actually runs better. If it does, then we'll give him a call and tell him, hey, the rest of your problems have to do with whoever tuned the car before you bought it. And you know, you can either take the car as is and pay the work they've done, or I can go ahead and retune it. You can pay for that as well. What's up guys, I have this 2012 G37 6-speed. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have me on his SD card right there on his camera, because that one's facing me. This guy moved from Florida and here to Cali. I think he said this year. I don't know. I know he just told me, but I always forget. And yeah, he still has the Florida license plate. So I already uploaded a tune right now, but before that I did a baseline. Oh, I don't have it on there. It was 277 wheel, but the mid-range was really bad. It kind of dropped. Let me see if I can get the keyboard with the other hand and get it to go to the... Oh, wrong one. Give me 1 second. All right. You can see right there, the mid-range. No bueno. So stock injector, so it's a 91. It has some intakes on there, colder intakes, standard size, but they're really small. We got the catalytic converters on and a dual exit exhaust, and we'll see what it does after the tune. Very clean car though, I like it. Guys, so you can see the green line. Already fixed the mid-range right there. It's a lot of difference in power in the mid-range. Damn guys, so this car just really needed a tune. Gained 24 wheel horsepower peak, and whatever is in the middle there, let's just say 5,500 to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Is that like, that's like 60 wheel horsepower, 6, 7, 8, yeah. Right there. That's like 60 wheel, that's crazy. Most likely the same with the torque, around the same, 50 to 60. That is crazy, just really needed a tune. 105,000 miles, not bad. Motor's pretty good to be honest. I said 60 wheel, it's actually like 37, 40. There he is testing out the launch control. I don't know if you guys could hear it in the video. He seems very excited to drive it. See if we can hear it. Alright guys, so this is the green 370Z. Pretty sure I made another clip about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and tune this car. So now with the tune that I put, it revs better and actually drives better. So I'm gonna continue the tune. On this one I didn't have time. That was yesterday. So they took out the spark plugs and they were actually fine. They were almost brand new, and then the owner did say that the dealer did change the spark plugs and they couldn't find the problem. So this guy spent roughly $1,300 at the dealership, and it didn't need any of that service. So they're the ones that told him it was tuned. Sorry guys, I'm flashing some stuff here, but yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and tune this one here to get it going, and this guy can finally drive his car again. Guys, I've got this 2012 G37 coupe, 7-speed from San Francisco Bay Area, so thank you very much for making the long drive. It's got still in Gen 3 intakes, full exhaust, Tomei, 283 wheel horsepower, 245 torque to the wheels. There's another video, which I don't know if I'm going to include in this YouTube, where that same area is the same thing, and they were both G37s. So this one has the same issue before the tune, where it drops right there. I don't know if it was exactly the same, but I remember it was the mid-range. So yeah, we'll see if it's the motor, or if it just really needs a tune. So this one, the motor sounds good, so I feel like it just needs a tune. We'll see. The other one, I think originally I said it gained 60 or something, but it was only like 30 or 40 wheel in the mid-range. So we'll see what this one does. So first adjustments, the green line peak, it already gained 9 wheel horsepower, so it is at 292 wheel horsepower. There's the torque, 12 torque to the wheels peak, and you can see the mid-range, like I said, was going to get fixed. Big difference. Believe still have room for some top end right here from what I saw on the log. After my next adjustment, 302, which I believe that's the same ending horsepower as the previous G37 coupe, which I think the other one was auto as well. I don't know, but this one makes more torque. 263, I believe the other one was 250 something. I don't know, that'll be in the video though. And this one, the miles almost the same. I don't remember. I think I did record it. All right, so this one actually made 303 and 264 torque, so it made more than the other one. Look at the difference from getting a proper tune on there. Yellow. Guys, I have this Q60 right here. Very nice. Not too sure what they did. I think they did a motor swap. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong. Maybe it was just the trans. So it's got to be one or the other. Actually, I just remember it was the motor. So they did another motor swap on this one, and now they want me to put a stock file on it. So I'm not too sure because it's tuned by somebody else. I'm not too sure who. But George asked me if I could put a stock file in this car, so I just don't know the reason. Obviously he does. Maybe it was on the 85 and now it's not, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then that should be it for this one. Let's go ahead and put a stock tune on there. Program ECU, whatever that said, oh well. And it was programmed last, I only done it in another video, so it's not November, it's actually December. So it was programmed December 11th of 2021 at 1:20 p.m. and 26 seconds by whoever that is. Well, it lasted a while, actually. 21, 22, 23. It lasted 2 years. Not bad, to be honest. Like, being serious, like, it's a VR. We all know they blow up stock with no tune, no modifications. So who knows? I don't know what it was tuned for, obviously, but 2 years on a modified VR, that's pretty good, to be honest. He's came to harass me.
Sold 10,000. Scamming. Scamming a trans.
Guys, doing fresh kicks, 350Z HR, his new turbo kit that he got just to try it out, and we're gonna see how many pounds is that. So it should be 20 something pounds. Here. So I don't know who installed that turbo kit, but it wasn't us, and I guess they didn't route some of the wiring harness correctly, so it was just sitting there, and I smelled something. So after I smelled something, I saw a bunch of smoke, so I turned off the car, and then there was a fire. But it's not a big deal, to be honest. It wasn't even a big deal at all. Luckily, we have the fire extinguishers here. As soon as the extinguisher hit, the flame went out pretty much almost instantly, so it's not even a big deal. It's obviously a mess on top of his engine bay, so obviously nothing went inside the motor. It's just on top, so he's gonna have to wait till today's Friday, till Monday, so they can put it on the lift and check everything out and see where this person messed up from, because now the shop here has to fix it. So luckily, I believe that wire harness that was touching has nothing too important, so I feel like it didn't even get to the actual wires themselves. It's just the shielding around it. That one's actually a very, very thick shielding, so that's not a big deal. This one should be fine. It still turns on and everything.